Hello, everyone. Hope you are well on this Saturday afternoon. Go Dogs. Should be a really good game later this afternoon between the Dogs and the Tennessee Volunteers. Volunteers coming in hot. Going to be between the hedges. I was talking or chatting a little bit earlier this morning with a good friend of mine. He is a big Tennessee Volunteer fan. And we were just saying, win or lose, it should be a good game. Both teams are great. Are grocery stores about to become very dangerous? I believe so. We have the potential for grocery stores to become a danger zone. And I'm going to talk about that here in a second. Plus, I'm going to speak a little bit more about this diesel shortage. And I have a very good verse, a passage, several verses that I'm going to share towards the end that I think will resonate with what we are seeing, some of what we are seeing today or these days. So stay tuned for that. First, I want to share a couple of quotes. I saw this on social media, and I think they make you think. But these are from the old French philosopher. I believe he was a philosopher, really known more than that. His name was Voltaire. You may have recognized that name. But the first quote was, "The comfort of the rich depend upon the abundant supply of the poor." A lot of truth to that. A lot of truth to that. And the other one is, if you want to know who controls you, look at who you are not allowed to criticize. Boy, are we seeing that a little bit. And that can work both ways now. That can go both directions. You know what I mean? Okay? All right, I'm going to let that sit there for a moment and let that digest with you. Share your thoughts. I know Voltaire was also a critic of Christianity, of religion in general, but he was also a big proponent of free speech. So I will give him that for sure. Okay. Grocery store in Maryland. Oxon Hill, I think if I'm saying that right, Oxon Hill, Maryland. A giant, that's the name of the store, a giant grocery store. Apparently this happened yesterday. Two people lost their lives. Tragic, but basically a woman was trying to steal from this grocery store. A security guard witnessed it and confronted the woman. The story is he ordered her several times to stop and put the products back. She continued, and then she withdrew a weapon from her backpack and fired on the officer, hitting him several times. The security guard, I said the officer, the security guard returned fire, killing the woman, and the security guard also passed away. Both passed away. I mean, this was over something the woman was trying to steal at the store. Now, I didn't go into detail what she was stealing. Now, my question is if she's just stealing some food, is it worth risking two lives over that? I mean, I guess you can make an argument for that, but I mean, if you're the security guard, if I'm a security guard, I'm using discretion here. I mean, is the woman just truly, you don't really know, I guess, but if she's just stealing bread for her family, there are better ways to go about that. Yeah. It's just tragic. It's tragic. And the bottom line is, I believe we will see a lot more of this. Prices keep going up the way they are. This is creating a food insecurity issue, shortage, in that you can't afford it, or your money's going elsewhere to try to keep the home heated or cooled or whatever, and you need food. So I believe this kind of thing will increase big time. I think it's going to increase to a level. It could increase to a level, I believe it will, to where it becomes so common we get desensitized to it, just like we do other crime, to where you won't even much hear about it. It's like you don't hear about every little petty crime that takes place in your town or anywhere else. This will become, it's a shock right now. It's big news. Closed the store for a while. But I think it will become commonplace. Unfortunately, I think this is something we need to bear in mind, prepare for. Heaven forbid, if and when real SHTF occurs, which could happen anytime. I think it's going to hit with nobody, with it's going to take a lot of people by surprise. And a number of things could lead to that. I'm going to go into that in a second, to where that would increase it even more, even more. It's only the beginning. These are the beginnings of it, of these things. So I think several things, well, a lot of things can cause a panic, but the things that are on my mind right now are this fuel shortage thing. Okay, let me talk about diesel. So I think there is some normalcy bias to this, well, along with other things, to where, you're hearing about this. We heard about it a few months back. Nothing ever happened. People are like, it's talk. It might be. But if it really were to get down to brass tacks and get to the level to where it affects people's ability to put regular gas in their own vehicles tanks, and then it starts affecting the ability for the trucks to get food to the store, we got a whole nother ball game right there, folks. We got a whole nother ball game if it gets to that level. Now, about diesel, I'm seeing videos, saw some yesterday, some short videos from truckers out there who are having difficulty getting gas, who are having difficulty finding it. Now they're finding it, they're having to stop several places to be able to get their diesel. Paying over $5 a gallon for it. I've noticed diesel around here in our area is about $4.99. I think I saw it as high as $5.30 in one place. But you truckers out there, I know there's a good many that watch this channel. If you are seeing the same thing, please share what you are seeing. If you don't want to put it out in the comments, feel free to email me. But then I saw another video from an insider. I guess you could call it an insider, from some people that are in the production end of diesel, and they're saying their production is going. The production is, they get maintenance. They go down for a little while for maintenance, but their production has been back. But their question is, where is it going? They're just making sure it gets produced or refined and out on the trucks. From there, they don't know where it goes. So their suspicion is that it's going towards the war effort over in Europe. They have no way to verify that, of course. That's their suspicion, but their question is, where is it going? If there's shortages and spot shortages here and talk of us running out, why is that? So that was interesting. So if you're in that part of the business, feel free to share or let us know. But, so that's one thing that could cause a panic. True shortages could cause a panic. The war spiraling out of control over in Europe. We've got other hot spots. The Korean Peninsula is something we need to pay attention to. Normalcy bias there too. Oh, they're talking about it again. Saber rattling. If that were to get real, when people would realize, especially here in North America, or even in Europe, that their own livelihoods are at stake, or that this could affect you on your soil, look out. We need to prepare to a level to where we can avoid that kind of chaos and go into that to where we have the stuff we need, especially short term, or even long term. The Mississippi River is drying up. You seen that? Have you seen pictures and video of that? It's amazing. Not too many people are talking about it. What do you think that's doing to the ability of supplies to get through? And then the Mississippi River is a huge way that we transport goods. And that's a serious issue. Like I mentioned before, you got confirmed boots on the ground from United States military in Ukraine. What can happen there? What can go wrong there? A lot could go wrong there. You have nuclear capable bombers that have been moved just in the last couple of days to Australia, the north part of Australia. Again, we need to be prepped up to avoid any panic in the stores, which I believe could happen. We have a very crucial week ahead of us in the next week. Who knows what we're going to see there? And afterwards, my concern is afterwards, especially the first few days afterwards. And if there's a lot of controversy and unrest that could certainly happen, we need to be prepared for that. We'll talk more about that as we get closer. We're getting closer to it, aren't we? We sure are. I have a very good passage I want to share. Now, this was also shared. I watch a lot of Glenn Beck, and he was talking about this passage. He went into more of the chapter, but and I'll cover it eventually. But I want to share a part of it. It'll make you think about what's going on today. This is from Ephesians chapter 4. I'm going to read verse 17 through 19. I'm reading from the NIV version. It says, "So I tell you this and insist on it in the Lord, that you must no longer live as the Gentiles do in the futility of their thinking. They are darkened in their understanding and separated from the life of God because of the ignorance that is in them due to the hardening of their hearts. Having lost all sensitivity, they have given themselves over to sensuality so as to indulge in every kind of impurity, and they are full of greed." Interesting how you can read something in the Bible and it's as if it was written just yesterday about what you are seeing these days, isn't it? Isn't it something? There's a reason for that. Just think about that for a moment and let that sink in. And it sure resonated with me. Share your thoughts on that. Enjoy your Saturday. Do live your life. Do something fun, treat yourself. But keep prepping, keep stacking. Let's be safe out there. Be aware. God bless you. I will see you soon.